Hi, I'm Bill Patterson, Executive Vice President and General Manager of CRM Applications at Salesforce.
Hello, I'm Yusuf Tayab, Senior Managing Director at Accenture and responsible for the global Accenture Salesforce Business Group.
Yusuf, thank you for joining me today, and thank you all for watching online here. Yusuf, I'm excited that you and I are having a chance to get together in our virtual world here to talk about how we can help businesses return to the workplace, reopen safely, and most importantly, reinvent the future for success. You know, this is something you and I have talked about. It's top of mind for us. It's top of mind for so many. It's top of mind for our companies. And I know your team in Accenture has been working around the clock to develop new solutions, incredible innovation to help address so many questions and challenges facing companies and businesses and governments alike. And so I'm wondering if you might be able to share a little bit of that process and vision that your team has had to help in this incredible time.
When we think about the challenge in front of us, of course, just like Salesforce, we put our customer, we put our client at the center, and at the center of that is the humans, the employees, and the customers. And so, as we've sort of thought through, how do we come together and work on this? Despite the uniqueness, we've thought about how do we come up with something that's practical and that we can put to work in a number of different industries and a number of different settings. We've worked together to effectively develop a roadmap around 4 essential phases: plan, engage, reopen, and reinvent. And we're going to touch on all of those throughout this series, but I think today we'll start by talking a bit about plan and engage, and certainly would love your perspective from Salesforce around how the Work.com capabilities enables those phases.
Yeah, of course, happy to do so. I think in this moment, innovation that can help our customers matters, and I think it's great for us to be partnering time. So tell me a little bit more about the Accenture process.
So as I mentioned, Bill, we think about 4 stages: plan, engage, reopen, and reinvent. Let me talk a bit about plan and engage. So plan is, as we're all kind of coming out of this new normal, we're thinking about moving from working from home to returning to the workplace, doing that in a way that's safe and in a way that we all feel comfortable with. As companies, we've got to develop a clear plan around safety, around the processes, around bringing people back into the workplace, around the required changes we're going to need inside the workplace, the tools that will sort of help us govern that. And having that clear plan in place then allows us really to move into the engage phase. The engage phase is about building trust and communication with our employees.
I think that's a great overview. And I think that the word that you use that's so powerful in that overview is the word trust. Because today, companies and customers and communities need to reestablish trust, especially with so much uncertainty around us. And I think, the thing that you really, kind of hit on for me, that's about the perspective about these phases of reopening. That's exactly what we built the Work.com platform to enable, is to help it create trust in the experience between the employer, the employee, the customer, the community, all at the epicenter of that reopening experience, if you will. And I think that, really to do that, you need a hub to bring everyone together. You need a hub that really gets all of your team members operating from the same page with great access to data, with the ability to make connected decisions, and the ability to orchestrate those decisions across all the boundaries of how a business operates, whether that be in the retail space, travel and hospitality, manufacturing. All of these decisions now are interconnected like never before. And I think having a tool like this hub to bring together all that information, all the people, all the decision making, whether it be with employee data or customer data or health data, data about the COVID virus. That's what makes Work.com a powerful platform for organizations to leverage as part of their journey for that reopening experience. I'm wondering how you and Accenture, really think about guiding to this next phase of the engagement phase, now to this reopening experience. And what are you advising your customers to really think through at this time, now that we can really help them get to a better picture of their data?
Yeah, well, we're certainly going to talk, I think, in greater detail about the the reopen and then the reinvent phase. I appreciate your comments and your sentiments on having a common place to be able to manage all of this. I mean, obviously, for most of us, this is our first pandemic, and so we're all sort of working through and thinking about, how do you do this in a structured and transparent way? The Work.com platform and what Salesforce has developed, I think we've found to be a really good platform, a really good tool around which we can center. And so we're very excited to sort of take our process and our methodology, what we're learning from what we're doing ourselves in terms of our own reopen, to use that to inform sort of what needs to be in the platform, and ultimately to be able to have a capability, to be able to have technology to guide us through this process. And so as the series continues, I think we'll talk a bit more about reopening and reinventing. But for the purpose of this quick discussion, I think we want to start with let's have a clear plan. Let's figure out our engagement strategy, and certainly let's use the tools and the platform capability available in Work.com such that we can continue to move that forward through the process.
Well, great. Well, I'm excited to keep our dialogue going, and for all our viewers here to keep learning from us because there are great experiences we can share. At this time, especially how we're helping those, kind of manage through this journey. So very exciting to partner with you as always. And I'm very much looking for our next section, which I think we're going to talk about contact tracing.